Hi everyone, I'm Claire. Welcome to my channel. So I'm a life coach and healer. I specialise in helping the spiritually curious to navigate major life transitions using my blend of coaching and energy work so that they can move forward with clarity and confidence. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about working with crystals. So if you have crystals in your house that are sitting around and you don't quite know what to do with them other than them just being ornaments, then this is the video for you. So the first thing you're going to want to do with your crystals is cleanse them. So when you think about it, they've probably just been sitting on a windowsill or on a shelf and they're picking up energy, because that's what they do, they work with energy. So there's a few different ways that you can cleanse your crystals. So I have a couple of crystals here. So I've got two pieces of rose, tiny little tumbled pieces of rose quartz there. So one of the, I suppose, easiest ways you can cleanse them is using sound. So I've got a pair of my little tinctures here, and if you just and hold them over the crystals, that's going to be working with them to cleanse them. When I am doing a treatment, what I will do is I will hold the crystal in my hand and I will send, well basically I'll send Reiki into the crystal. But if you're not Reiki attuned, you can just imagine white light going in and clearing that crystal. So, and that's easy if you're just doing one at a time. So when I'm doing treatments, I'm picking up and changing what crystals I'm working with quite quickly. If you've got a load of crystals, so I tend to transport mine around in these boxes like this. It's going to take me a long time to pick up each individual crystal and send it white light. So that's where you could do the sound healing. That would be quite good. Or you can get one of these smudging sticks. I think this one's sage, and if you just light it, make sure it's safe to do so, and then if you just waft the smoke over the crystals, that will be cleansing their energy. And also, as an added bonus, you can waft it through your aura as well, because that will cleanse any kind of negativity or anything or any energy that just doesn't serve you at the moment. So that's quite a good idea if you're going to be working with crystals, to cleanse yourself and the space as well using a smudging stick. If you like, be careful if you've got smoke alarms or anything flammable around at the time. So I'll put that to one side, hopefully that'll go out in a minute. And you can put crystals underwater to cleanse them, but just make sure that they're not like water soluble crystals. Some, like the quartz crystals are hard, so they won't disintegrate underwater, but some of them will. So I don't personally like using water to clear my crystals. My main ones are intention, sound, and the smudging stick. And incense works just as well in that respect. So, and the other thing with crystals is how you store them really matters. So I showed you this box a little bit earlier. So if you're someone who is transporting crystals around, like me, so I will go to fairs in the south of England and do crystal therapy. So I have to bring my crystals with me. So I need to make sure that they're travelling safely. So there's a thing called the Mohrs scale, M-O-H-R-S. If you Google that, you will get like a list, and it will categorise the crystals in terms of their hardness. So I think you've probably got like diamond at the top, because that's a really hard crystal. And then you've got your quartz crystals, and then you've got I can't think of any in here, but they aren't as hard. So if you put a quartz crystal in with a crystal, maybe, I don't actually know what this one is, but if you can see that is a bit more fragile. So if I put that in with my hard quartz, it's probably gonna knock those little crystals off. And some of them look, if they're all tumbled, they look kind of the same, but some are softer. So you're gonna want to put your harder crystals, so where I've got those, I will put my quartz crystals together and just make sure I'm putting similar crystals in with each other so they don't crash into each other and break up. And also, if, I don't think I've got any here, if you've got points, like, actually I did have one here, my Lemurian seed quartz, but that's gone missing. But if you have a pointed crystal, maybe pack them separately, because you don't want that point to come off. In fact, I've got a pendulum here, and somehow, sorry, let's work with my energy, try and get that to slow down. The tips come off, which it's fine, it still works, but it doesn't look as good. And obviously you can see that's a lot of different crystals stuck together, so that's probably going to make it not as strong than one that's just naturally formed. So they're my tips about what you need to do with the crystals before you start working with them. Make sure you're grounded before you start working with crystals, and call in protection. So I would be calling in my spirit guides and asking them to protect me, and I'd be imagining a ball of golden light around me to protect me. This is when you're doing crystals or any kind of energy work, because you're opening up to other things. Like, you wouldn't just leave your front door open, and it's kind of the same thing when you're working with energy, and you know, you could potentially be connected with the spirit realm when you're doing this. Your guides are coming in. You don't want any negative energy or sort of entities to come in, so always make sure you're protected. Make sure you're grounded as well. You know, I've learned this a lot recently. Grounding is one of the ways to keep ourselves safe when we're doing this kind of work. So imagine your feet are on the ground and see roots coming out of your soles of your feet, connecting you right down into the center of the earth. And that will ground your energy as well, but it keeps you protected and in tune with the earth energies. And obviously we're, I believe, spiritual beings having a human experience, so we're here on the earth plane at the moment. This is where our energy is at, so linking in with that energy will really help protect us. So watch my next video to find out how, or 5 different ways to work with crystals.